Wild story of the Texas plumber whose company truck, with its logo and phone number still on it, somehow ended up in the hands of ISIS fighters and in a propaganda video. He is now suing the dealer that resold the car, and ABC's David Wright is here with that story. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Robin. You know, they say there's no such thing as bad publicity. Well, let me tell you about this plumber. He's had free advertising worldwide of the worst sort. His pickup truck ending up on the front lines of Syria, featured prominently in ISIS propaganda. So he's now filing suit. The black Ford F-250 still has his logo, but the dudes who now drive it clearly aren't interested in fixing any leaks.
My secretary called me and said, "You can't believe this."
That's his old truck, now 7,000 miles away from Texas City, Texas, with quite the gun rack in back. There it is in action. ISIS militants firing the anti-aircraft gun, the logo, and the company phone number, as clear as the intentions of those ISIS militants in the ski masks.
I really at first thought it was just somebody playing with us.
The plumber, Mark Oberholtzer, says when he traded in the truck to a dealer, they told him they'd rather remove the decal so as not to risk scratching the paint. But when these pictures started popping up on extremist Twitter feeds a year ago today, it became clear the dealer never removed it. Tracking the truck on the used car site Carfax, it went from an auction in Houston, Texas, to Mersin, Turkey. From there, ending up somewhere near Aleppo, Syria, in the hands of jihadists. Oberholtzer says death threats started pouring in over the switchboard.
She was getting constant calls, threats, nothing about plumbing.
Now those photos pop up on his Yelp page. They even made it onto the final episode of the Colbert Report.
Yes, a Texas plumber's work truck showed up in Syria. Although pickup truck, desert, giant machine gun, that could still be Texas.
The plumber is now suing the dealer for $1 million, claiming Mark I's revenues were lost and the company's reputation was irretrievably damaged. The plumber says this was free advertising he could do without.
I don't need this press, and I don't need the threats to my family.
Well, the plumber was even questioned by the FBI and Homeland Security about this. Of course, we reached out to the dealership, AutoNation, which essentially blamed the auctioneer. They say that the truck was sent out for auction as soon as it came in, the dealer adding, "It is unfortunate that the customer has had to go through this." You don't say, right?
Oh, yeah. We're going to bring in Dan Abrams to see what he has to say about this. I mean, you feel for the guy.
Yeah,
but legally, where does he stand?
You can understand why
Sure.
he's furious, upset. There's no question there's sort of damages here, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can hold the dealership responsible. It's a tough legal case. They're throwing all sorts of possible legal theories here, hoping that one's going to stick. But the key question is, was it negligent? Meaning, should they have known better, in effect, than to allow this to happen? And one of the questions when you're talking about negligence is something called foreseeability, meaning, could you have foreseen that these sorts of damages would occur? Now, you could say it's foreseeable there would be damages, and therefore that he's got a suit. You certainly couldn't have foreseen it was going to end up in Syria in the hands of ISIS.
No, you couldn't have foreseen that. But the plumber is saying that he was trying to take down the name and number, and that the dealer stopped him from doing it.
Right. He says that the dealer said, "Don't worry about it. We got a better way to do it." That's the heart of his case. The heart of his case is about that decal, meaning they should have taken it off. They should have known that no one should be driving around in this truck with this decal. And that's certainly the strongest part of his argument.
Looking for damages, but really looking for more here.
He's looking to clear his name.
Sure.
He's looking for every time someone says, "Hey, I saw your truck," or some jerk calls him on the phone and says, "Oh, you know, what do you do?" He says, "Look, I sued them. I sued them." I think this is his primary effort to clear his name, and there'll probably be a settlement.
I just can't imagine being that guy and seeing your truck in that video.
With your phone number.
With your phone. Oh, I can't imagine.
Let's hope this story helps him, too.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, thank you.
Thank you.